You guys want to hear some stories about things that have happened to me? I've been inspired. I've been inspired by Tiffany wears t-shirts all month long. She's been doing this series on movies and horror flicks and all kinds of stuff and opening up weird boxes. Okay, I'm just going to tell you 2 experiences I've had with the unknown. When I was about 25, I was in my 3rd apartment, and it was a 1-bedroom. It had a living area. You open the door, it had a living room area, it had a kitchen, and the next room over was the bedroom, and then it had a huge closet. I didn't sleep in the bedroom because the sliding glass door scared me. So I had a day bed. I slept in there, and I had like a broom shoved into the sliding glass door. I was on the 1st floor too. So I was more afraid of getting robbed than anything. So the first night I'm in there, I couldn't sleep. And I had a weird dream. That I saw somebody walking around in my apartment. But I was sure it's a dream. Look at my big hand. So over the course of the next few nights, I started to remember the dream, and it was of somebody standing above me. And then one day I'm sleeping there, and I'm dreaming, and there's somebody above me. I woke up in the dream, and I'm like, and there was a guy above me. I couldn't see his face. And then I was like, oh. And then I look up, and there's a guy above me. I woke up twice in the dream. I was in a dream, and I woke up, and then I woke up again in the same dream. It freaked me out. And I kept having that dream over and over again. I got my butt out of that apartment after 1 year. I was like, nope. I had that dream over and over again. It was like somebody was standing above me. So that's the first weird thing that happened to me. The second weird thing was about 20 years ago. I was about 34, and I was working as a hairstylist. I was working for a company, and I was offered a management job in Aurora, Illinois. And I was like, well, I want to go up and see the salon and, check it out. So I drove up there. It was like an 8 or 9 hour drive, and I drove through a winter storm system. And I got there about 10 o'clock at night, and I went with a friend of mine named Gloria, and we got into a cheap hotel. It was a chain. I don't remember the name of it, but she's like, I don't want to go in, it's cold. What if they don't have any room? I'm like, okay, you stay here and I'll go in. I go, you got a room for tonight? I need two beds. And they're like, yeah, okay. And so I rented a room. I called her on my phone. I said, come on in, they got a room. Lock my doors. And I go in, we go in with our suitcases, and again, we're on the 1st floor. Only me. And, as soon as Gloria walks in, she goes to the windows, and she's like, I don't like this. These windows don't look secure. And I'm like, well, we can put stuff in front. We'll move the microwave. The microwave was actually in the living room area. I'm like, why don't we move the table with the microwave on it towards the window? And if anybody comes in, they'll knock it over and we'll hear it. And she's like, okay. And you can sleep by the window, being me. I'm like, okay, whatever. And, we both got ready for bed, washed our face and everything. Let me tell you what the hotel room was like. You walk in through the door, and immediately to your right is the bathroom. And then to the left is a little sink, and there's a coffee pot, and there's a blow dryer, a mirror. I think there was an iron over there too, probably an iron board. And then you're in the main room. And I'm like, so I lay down and go to sleep. She takes a pill and goes to sleep. And I'm laying there and I'm in a deep sleep. And all of a sudden, I'm awake. And I'm like, something's different. I don't know what it is. And I'm listening and I'm looking. And I'm looking at the area where the entry. Oh, by the way, the water bottle had a red flashing light. Maybe it was a green flashing light. It was a flashing light. Or was it the blow dryer? I don't know. But something was flashing a red light or a green light. And I'm like, I wake up and I look over there and there's complete darkness over at the entry. And I'm like, And I roll over and I look towards the window and I see light. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Something's wrong. And I roll back over and I'm looking at the entrance and to complete darkness. And I'm like, something's wrong over there. And then I realized there was no light. There was no flashing light over there. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta check this out. Something's wrong. And I sat up and I put my feet on the floor. And all of a sudden, the darkness was like a door, and it went into the bathroom, and then there was light. You could see light coming out of the bathroom. You can see the night light that was in the hallway. You can see the little flashing light, and I'm going, I'm freaking out. This scared the crap out of me. I was ready to put my clothes on. Actually, I was wearing sweats. I was ready to get up, get going now. And I'm like, Gloria. And finally I woke her and she's like, what? I go, something is in the room. And she goes, what? And I told her what happened. And she goes, do you want a pill? And I go, yeah, give me it. So I took it and I fell asleep. I was out cold. And then I woke up. When this happened, it was when Obama was elected, because George Bush came to Chicago and said something like, I'm the guy, something. I don't know, but he was making an appearance with Obama. The outgoing guy and the ingoing guy were both in Chicago. So it was right after Obama got elected. And how long ago was that? That wasn't 20 years ago. Um, so like what, 12 years ago. Wow, this is right before I got a new job. So that's when it happened. Um, and Gloria, I could hear Gloria in the shower. I sat up and I'm watching Obama and George Bush. And she comes out of the bathroom and she looks at me and she goes, "What you said to me last night, I believe you." And I go, "Oh my God, that's right. That happened." And she goes, "Yeah. And you want to know what else should happen? I'll tell you. After you went to sleep, I was awake. And I closed my eyes and I'm relaxing. And all of a sudden, I couldn't see you anymore." I go, "What?" And she goes, "I was laying there looking at you, and then you were gone. It was complete darkness." I go, "What?" And she goes, and I sat up and went, "What?" And all of a sudden, it was like a door shut, and all the darkness went into the wall, and then I could see you again. And I'm like, "What?" And I go, I'm going. She goes, "You need to take a shower. You got an interview." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I jumped in the shower. I got ready to go. I had my interview with wet hair. Mind you, there was a snowstorm going on. I turned down the job because it was a dead salon, and you can't, especially when you're leaving one area and going to another, you want to have clientele. And I didn't have my family there, so. But yeah, those are my two experiences with the supernatural. Ooh. But yeah, seriously, that happened, both of them. The they were equally scary. So, yeah. Okay, you guys. That's it. Have you had any weird experiences with the darkness, with the supernatural, with the unknown? Moo. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Enjoy Halloween.